4-day weekend, here we come.
But it's all good because I brought the fish mask again. So
I do not have any costumes today. I was going to get like a Santa hat, but earphones.
Before we get into it, let me...
Even my mustache is not very well groomed. It's kind of all over the
your
place.
mom's mustache isn't very well
boy.
groomed.
Probably not.
You're going to hear
but
some
it will
of
be tomorrow
yourself
because it's
again.
almost Christmas.
Okay.
Your mom's mustache isn't very
Looks like Lucas is too high, so let me turn on that gain. You're going to hear some... I'm going to turn off the B so you guys can't hear yourself.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought Steve had joined the call for a second.
Cool. I found this cool thing where I can adjust y'all's gains independently, so
nice.
That's kind of cool. It's a new feature in Zoom. All right, well, what do you guys say we get started?
I say we get started.
Then let us do it. Show start. Perfect. All right, well, then I'm ready if you guys are. Let me just restart this Diddy Kong racing music, and off we go.
Reminder, we still can't hear any of the beats.
Now, get there through Infendo.com.
Collecting
It'll
every
sound
coin
great,
so
don't worry.
you don't have to.
Actually, you know what? It won't because my B wasn't on. Let's try again.
And I talked in the middle of it,
Well, I can mute that because there's separate audio, but I can't add music very easily, so let's just do a take two right now.
Are you a member of our Discord yet? You should be, because that's where you ask your questions for the question block segment now. Get there through Infendo.com.
Collecting every coin so you don't have to. Infendo Radio is now on.
Hello, we're here. It's almost Christmas time. We figured we might as well just show up this time and give you a show because last year I think the holiday ran like right before the show, so we took off. So you guys are gonna get a nice holiday Christmas special next week. We're gonna take off then. But tonight with me, I do have Lucas and Justin. How are you doing this evening, Lucas?
I'm doing very well. I'm podcasting for two, as you can tell, because Steve is not here with us, but it's fine. I've been preparing for this moment my whole life. So.
Did he go for cigarettes and never come back, or what?
Yeah, it's real tragic. I keep waiting. I think, why are we doing this? Somebody out there has had this experience, and we're bringing these painful memories back to them on Christmas.
Are we talking about painful memories of this podcast? Or?
Lucas, where can the people find you and all of your painful memories?
God, the people can find all of my painful memories painstakingly recorded on video over at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/LucasPeace, LUKASPEACE. I'm going to be spending all night editing that freaking Ace of Seafood video, so it's up by tomorrow, so go check that out.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Another thing I look forward to is talking to my next co-host, Justin. How are you doing tonight? Where can the people find you?
Howdy do. You can follow me on Twitter at InfendoJustin. You can also go to the Disney Park blog, TheDisneyParkBenchBench.com. Had to beat Lucas at his game there. That's the DisneyParkBench.com for my Disney-related blogs at the moment, podcasts to come, along with YouTube videos and guides. It's been a stressful year. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but
I wonder why.
Things are moving slowly as usual.
Sure. Well, that's okay. We are here to reduce some of that stress, maybe. Hopefully we're not stress inducers, as it were. But, some people that never bring us any stress are our wonderful patrons. And since it is the last show of the month, technically, we're going to thank everybody. And we're going to start right with Daniel Gaskin. Thank you very much for being a patron. Thank you for supporting the show, each and every one of you. Thank you, Shine Down, Mustard Giant Cow. Thank you, Jonathan Lewis. Thank you, Carmine Red. Thank you, Schnazzy1. Thank you, Michael Larson. Thank you, Colton. Lucas, say his last name.
Malish.
Thank you. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, the Brianosaurus, who is our first executive producer, followed by Slacker Monkey, -64, and DJ. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Brianosaurus and DJ are executive producers, so we appreciate you that much more.
Even more than everybody else we just said. Thank you.
So thank you for supporting the show. That was weird doing the Steve bit. I'm gonna end the weirdness. I'm gonna cut to break. We're gonna be back on the other side with Change the System. Hello, Twitch. Hello, YouTube. Oh, hello, new follower, Netho072. We appreciate you watching.
Didn't mispronounce that at all. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, it's Neth, I think, now that I look at it and reread it. Neth072.
I think I know who that is. And before I forget, shout out to my two best buds for playing Minecraft with me. That was great. And you're great. So
Neth says hello 2.5. I don't know if that's a score out of 5. We're only making it halfway. We'll try and meet your expectations by the end of the show.
That's fair.
Justin, there is a blockage on your camera, so I'm not sure if you're with us. It's scaring me, however. And he's back.
On with the show.
Onward. Let me find the next bit of music.
Much better.
I guess we'll go with this other bit of winter music in. Okay, how does this sound with this, Steven? Right now.
I don't know about you, but I like having my name read on a
I couldn't find the button.
If you want to have your name read on ours, hop over to patreon.com/Infendo
Music up a little bit.
Radio and get
I
in
think
for
it sounds
just $1.
Oh, well, now.
I mean, that's fine. Too.
Yeah, that's
Are
better.
you a member of our
actually.
Discord yet? You should be, because that's
Cool.
where
Yeah,
you
alright.
ask your
Then
questions
we'll roll
for
with
the
that.
question block.
All right, well then let me make a note.
We have no question block questions.
All right.
Well, maybe somebody like Neth will give us one. All right, here we go. Here's Steve.
God help us all.
For $5 a month, we can give you something better than the Lost Woods. We've got what we call the Hidden Feed. That gets you our all-access pass to everything we do behind the scenes and otherwise. Head over to patreon.com/Infendo Radio and pledge your $5 today.
All right, we're back. It's time for Change the System. This is where we talk about the games we've been playing, the news that happened over the last 7 days. I want to start off with Sephiroth, but I think if we do, then I'm just going to talk forever. So let's end with Sephiroth. Justin, do you want to lead us into the news? Because there was a little bit of a drop this week that you wanted to speak on.
Yeah, we got a Nintendo Direct, and not at all what any of us were expecting. But as some of you may have guessed from the website that I plug every week, this is right up my alley. Nintendo released a video of Miyamoto giving us a live in-person tour of Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios Japan, which is also coming to Universal Studios Hollywood, Universal Studios Florida. I'm sorry, it's Orlando now. And Universal Studios Singapore. So wherever you happen to be, there may be one near you, unless you live somewhere in Western Europe where there was supposed to be Universal Studios Spain, but there never was. Anywho, yeah, it looks really cool. As a lot of people have pointed out, it's called Super Nintendo World, and it's really pretty much just Super Mario 3D World. But I mean, it's amazing the level of detail that they have in it. As somebody who is a theme park fanatic and tends to favor Disney parks, I have to say I'm incredibly jealous that this is going to be a Universal thing, because it's just amazing. It looks like you just stepped right into Super Mario 3D World. And there's animatronic Goombas and Yoshis and Koopas and Buzzy Beetles and everything just wandering around up above you, and all the coins spin like they do in the game, and there are POW blocks you can set off with a little wristband.
I haven't watched it, and now you're making me want to go watch it.
Oh my god, go watch it. My only complaint is that it's subtitled, so unless you're subtitle speed reader like our friend Lucas here, you're going to spend a lot of time looking down and up and down and up and down and up, so you don't miss any of the cool stuff. But yeah, it looks really cool. There's of course an overworld area that looks like Mario. There's Peach's castle, and when you walk, cool. The coolest part is anybody who has been to Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars land in Disney World and Disneyland, especially at Disney World. I don't remember how they do it in Disneyland because I've never been there. But at Disney World, you walk into this tunnel, which looks like the famous tunnel in Los Angeles, and it's all dark, and then you go around a bend, and the tunnel turns into this rock work, and you come out, and you're in Galaxy's Edge. But there's like kind of a long pathway to get there. But there's this wonderful transition from real world to Star Wars world, and they do the same thing with Super Nintendo World. You see him, he walks into a warp pipe, then you see awesome. All the things whooshing by, and he walks out, and you're in Peach's castle, and it's playing the dun 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 dun, dun, and there's the Bob-omb Battlefield thing.
Oh,
it's
that
really
audio
impressive.
is getting isolated when Eugene does his editing. Isn't it kind of odd that like the whole considering it's like Super Nintendo World or whatever, isn't it weird that, and I know I'm not the first person to bring this up, but isn't it weird that the entire thing is Mario related? Like there's no Zelda, there's no Pokemon, it's all like Mario stuff.
So I have heard that at the very least the Orlando version is planning on having an added Donkey Kong themed area.
There's going to be an Orlando version? Cool.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't up on theme park news, I'm getting all excited here. Universal Studios is opening a third park to their Orlando resort. It's not going to be in the main area is going to be like down the road from it because they don't have all the space that Disney has. But it's going to be called, I believe, Universal's Epic Universe, which is lovely and redundant. But that's where Super Nintendo World is going to be for Universal Orlando. And because they are basically building the park with the land, they've accommodated extra space for expansion. So Donkey Kong Land is planned. There's rumors of expansions on like either side of the land. So I'm sure we'll see more Nintendo IPs show up in the future, especially if the Mario section is successful. But yeah, it is a little weird that, I mean, it's called Super Nintendo World. It is it is entirely Mario themed at the moment. All the decorations, all the music, even the typeface that they use for the logo is the Super Mario World logo. But they do such an incredible job of it. I'm hoping that they do expand it. I don't know if Japan has the space to expand, but I know some of the other parks are already planning expansions. They showed a little bit of the Mario Kart ride. I think they showed that a couple weeks ago, and that looks like it's going to be pretty cool, as long as, as soon as COVID goes away and you can actually touch things again.
Sure.
Yeah, I was so not invested in this news, like not up on any of this news, that I didn't even know there were multiple parks. I thought there was just the one in Japan. So
yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know that I can get excited for a theme park right now because of obvious reasons, right? But like, it's cool that it's happening for when we can go to it.
I like that they're making one like in my state, right? It's like an hour away from me. Like, that's cool. Like, I could go there at some point. So,
Right.
Obviously in like a year or whatever, but
Right, and of course I'll come down and crash your place, and we'll go hit Super Nintendo World together.
Exactly.
Publix and Super Nintendo World. What can
Get you some of those chicken tender subs, then we'll head over to Super Nintendo World.
And then I'll go visit Eugene, and we'll take a road trip to Disneyland.
We can see Wile E. Coyote, the Roadrunner, and I'll feed you some good food. Cool. Well,
so
then,
that's all the news I've got.
Yeah.
Who would like to follow up on that?
Sephiroth!
So yeah, come on, let's. I think we buried the lead a
It's
little bit.
all
but,
I've been doing for like 3 days, man.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna come right out and say it right now. I have not booted up Super Smash Brothers in weeks. So I updated the game a couple of days ago. Tonight I'll probably dive in and play a little bit of it. But I'm just gonna throw this out there. I am at best lukewarm on the idea of having Sephiroth in Smash.
So can I intro this, Eugene? Because
go for it.
Cool. I think Justin is broken, but that's fine. We'll get it anyway. Yeah, so like the coolest thing for me was this is the first time they've done Smash DLC where you can actually fight the character like 5 days before the DLC launched if you bought the DLC, and then unlock him early, which was cool. It was like unlocking any other character, which I think was a great
he was
idea.
kind of hard. Did you try?
I did. I beat him on all 3 difficulties. But
I did too.
I upped it to the very hard, and then I just went to normal and I beat
Me
him
too.
to unlock him. And then I did very hard like last night just to say I did it.
Very hard was so hard. Like I felt like
it was very hard. Yes.
Go figure.
I could only beat him one time with my main with Samus.
Well, here's the thing for me is Joker has been my main. I've got like 18 hours of gameplay as Joker, and I've kind of forgotten how to play as Joker over the course of like 3 days because I've been doing so much stuff with Sephiroth. So like,
yeah, and I, I'm not one that is like saying, oh yeah, it's not my Smash character, so it's so stupid. But like, like Justin, like I don't really have an affinity for anybody in Final Fantasy VII. Quite frankly, I never actually played that game. But
I don't
Sephiroth
either.
is fun to play. He's so fun to play. Like he is a. I don't know. Justin, remember when you said that you wanted a character that kind of goes back to the basics? Like, this feels like a melee character.
I've told I've told Eugene and I've told Steve this privately. He is like the Mewtwo of this generation, right? Like he's just
That sounds promising.
he's like obscenely powerful, like all of these cool attacks. No weird gimmicks, no weird like meters that need to be charged or anything.
Right.
Just a fight. His one gimmick that he has is when he's at a disadvantage, eventually during the match, he will spawn his one wing, his signature, black wing. And when he gets that, you get a third jump and your attacks become a little bit faster and a little bit stronger. And that's it. There's like no, there's no real gimmick to the character at all. So I mean,
That's why I dropped off of Joker, because I think I said this to you in privately in a Discord or something like that, or Slack or wherever we were talking. But anyways, he feels like a mix of Joker and a character with a sword to me, because he somewhat is that way, but at the same time, he's not as complex as Joker either, because Joker has this, like you said it, right? He's got this like meter that he has to build up, and there's no frills with Sephiroth. You just get a dude with a long sword, and I like it.
And
I think I'm gonna have to check him out tonight, because this is enticing me.
He's
but
fun.
I just have one really big, important, pressing question.
Yeah.
Does his final smash, is it like a 5-minute long cutscene?
No, but it is dramatic for sure.
Very dramatic.
You get him in like his seraph form with like the 6 wings, and the characters like in front of him, like if they were battling him in an RPG. Then a beam shoots out, it breaks a moon, it smashes another planet, and then the Earth like crumbles, and So
it basically is his summon, but compressed into 5 seconds.
if this were Brawl, his animation would be like 20 seconds long.
Yeah.
You know how they sped up like every final smash in this game? Like that's it. It plays
Sometimes
at like
detrimentally, but
but it plays at like 2 times speed. Like
I will
it's
say, for
impressive.
anybody who hasn't played it yet, and I'm not going to tell you what happens, but go play classic mode with Sephiroth. It's awesome.
Oh, dude, yeah, that was a welcomed addition in my opinion.
Yeah, that was fun.
and for those of you who don't know what I'm referencing, and haven't played Final Fantasy VII all the way to the end, just go on YouTube and look up Sephiroth's, I think it's Supernova or Meteor or something, his summon, and it is just this ridiculously long FMV attack, and it's literally just one attack in what turns out to be like a half-hour long battle, because he does it over and over and over and over again.
So that's like a big thing for me with this character, right? Like a lot like Joker, a lot of characters that I've really come to love. I was not overly excited for this character when I heard the announcement, right? Like I was like, oh, cool, like Sephiroth, that's fun. I like villains in my Smash Bros. But I have only ever made it to, I would say, maybe the first third of Final Fantasy VII. I got Vincent and I got Yuffie, and that was right about where I dropped off. So I don't know.
That's right about when the game drops off too. So
so there you go. But
all the best stuff in that game happens in the first third, really. So.
But yeah, so I wasn't like, I didn't go into this with like, big expectations or anything like that. I was just like, okay, like this will be fun. I like having villains, because there's not a lot of them in Smash. And I started playing as him, and I was like, oh, this is fun. It's like, I kind of had the same experience when Bayonetta dropped, where you start playing, and I'm sure part of it is just because he's really good, but I started playing with him, and I was just like, good at playing as him, like he's a character that just works for me, and a lot of characters don't, or like I forced myself to learn them because I like the characters. Sephiroth just like clicks, so he's easily one of my top 3 favorites.
That's the best thing for me about Smash, and I know we could talk for days about like, oh, this isn't my favorite character, this isn't my Final Fantasy character, but the thing for me with Smash, and it started with Marth and Roy in Melee, like Smash is all about discovery for me, right? So like if they can make the character fun, like I don't really care where it comes from, like they can get Yzma from Emperor's New Groove and make her like really fun, and as long as she's fun to play, then she might be my new main. I don't know.
And that's the thing with Joker, like I have absolutely no association with Persona or Shin Megami Tensei or any of those Atlas games, but Joker was actually kind of fun to play as. So,
Yeah.
I didn't mind his inclusion because he was at least interesting.
Well,
And
see,
some of the other characters that I was interested in are more complicated than I'd like to learn. So it's good to know that Sephiroth's a little back to basics.
Mm-hmm.
well, and like for me, like having Joker in the game introduced me to a series I ended up falling in love with. I put 100 hours into Persona 5, like, within a month after I discovered that game through Smash Bros. I did the same thing with Earthbound, right? Lucas got revealed and I started playing as him, and then I wanted to play Mother 3, so I did, and so like, yeah, no, for me, Smash is just like an avenue of like, kind of like you were saying, discovery, but like a different kind, right? Like I don't care as much about like the gameplay of Smash as I do about like the characters. So getting like anytime you get a new character, it's just like all of a sudden, like for someone like me who likes to pit like characters that make sense against each other, it's like, hey, now I finally have an evil sword fighter to fight all of the Fire Emblem characters with, and to
Right.
fight any character that I can imagine that needed like a good like villain pairing that didn't get one before. It's like, now I've got one, so for me,
Yeah.
it's just opened up a whole world of like matchups and stuff. So.
And more power to you, because you play Smash Bros weird. I don't know what to tell you, but it's fun. So don't get me wrong, but I've never heard of anybody play Smash Bros the way you literally play Smash Bros the way that I feel Sakurai intended it to be played, because based off of the way the Nintendo 64 game was like a bunch of characters. Like,
so you want a story?
Yeah.
You want
Please,
a story?
yeah.
Last night I couldn't sleep, so I was like, I'm gonna do this thing. I had all of these different teams that I built. I had like the army of Hyrule, right, with like Zelda and Link and a bunch of swordsmen. The army of Altea with Marth and Lucina and Chrom
Sure.
and everything. I had Ganondorf. I had Sephiroth. Then I had a list of recruitable fighters, and at the end of each round, I would have them all go up against each other. At the end of each round, they were allowed to recruit one fighter if they got like a lucky roll in a random number generator. And I ended up pitting everyone against each other until it was just Marth versus Sephiroth in the final battle, and Marth won for the forces of good. But like, no, that's how I play games.
Lucas plays Smash Brothers like a 6-year-old plays with action figures.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm not ashamed of that. Like, it is
that's great, honestly. Like,
time.
Because that's just like a whole other way to play, like that's just like, that's commendable, honestly. So well, were we even talking about the news, or were we just talking about the games we've been playing? Do we want to just talk about more about the games?
Yeah. Since we're already on Smash, do you mind if I just mention that we also got Gino as a costume, a Mii Fighter costume?
Mm-hmm.
So I downloaded that.
I just purchased that like a minute ago. Also, I'm very happy to see that Final Fantasy has a lot more music.
I want to talk about that in my change the system.
Yeah, because
it's banging.
Square's been known for not doing a good job with that, and it was nice to see that we got some of that stuff. But I downloaded Geno. I downloaded some cool levels actually online. There's a forest maze level that has like the little green star in the background floating up and down. They did a really good job on that. I downloaded
is this like a custom.
Yeah, custom stages.
Okay.
I downloaded a Sarasa Land level based on Mario Land. That's like all black and white, and it has like the little palm trees and stuff. Like, it looks really good. So I've been having fun with custom stages again. I've been having fun doing the Mii Fighter stuff. You can make Bomberman, and you can change his color and get like all the different colored Bombermen, and then do a match with like all bomb items on, and that's just a blast. So
that's awesome.
There's been a lot of
Waka.
A lot of cool modes that you can do lately. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm happy to have Geno back in some form. I really want to see him make an appearance as a playable character, but if need be, I will settle for a Mii costume for now again.
Wasn't Sephiroth a Mii costume in Smash Brothers? Last one in
Steve
4?
and I were kind of going over this because
I think King K. Rool is a Mii costume in this one even.
K. Rool was a Mii costume. Little Mac was an assist trophy. It's like it's not outside the realm of possibility for me. Everybody's saying like this is the nail in the coffin. I don't think it's gonna happen this generation, because I think if it were, this whole Square Enix thing would have been a good opportunity for it. Wish we could have at least gotten like a remix of Forest Maze or something to get a little like Geno love in there, like we did with Cuphead and Megalovania. But I mean, the costume is at least kind of high quality. So
Yeah, and I remember I got it for Wii U, Wii U and 3DS, and like I said, I just bought it for this, so I'm definitely going to be
I
creating my
spent
Mii fighter.
so much money on the goddamn costumes in um the the Wii U is where I bought all of my DLC, because remember you can buy them both at like a discount. I did that for a while, and then that got expensive. So then I was like,
see,
okay,
I try to only get the Mii fighters that I'm actually gonna use.
Because
like they have,
that's what I'm doing
now.
now.
They have like Tifa and Barrett and Aerith and stuff, but when you put like the little Mii heads on them, they just don't look right, So and they're like half as tall as Cloud and Sephiroth.
And you don't have the move selection that you had in the Wii U and 3DS, because you could unlock more moves doing the like smash run and stuff like that, and you can't do that in this.
You do get 3 each though, like 3 per directional input, which is decent. The Yiga, so as like the Mii sword fighter, the Yiga clans member and Majora, like Skull Kid and Majora's Mask, they both actually make really convincing like Mii characters. So if you ever want to make
Cuphead
either of them,
is awesome.
I'm sure I would like what's his face too, Sans, if I had ever played Undertale. Like he's another one that looks really good. Unfortunately,
I see a lot of people do that online with Sans costume.
Gino doesn't get the head, like you have to do a Mii head yourself. So there's that little like suspension of disbelief, which kind of sucks, but you deal with it.
Oh, it doesn't come with
it has a hat piece, and it has like the full body that looks like it's made out of wood, but the head is still visibly like a Mii, so you kind of have to like you put on the big red eyes and you try to make the mouth look like it's got like the puppet like stuff, but it still kind of looks like a Mii a little bit when you look really closely. But you can kind of trick yourself if you put some like Mario RPG music on in the background. You play on like the Mario RPG stage, you can be like, this is almost DLC. Like, I can buy this,
I'm surprised, as much as I'm still hoping for Gino to be like the last big exciting announcement character. I'm surprised we haven't gotten more Namco Bandai characters in Smash, considering they actually co-developed the game and the last 2 games.
Yeah, that's true.
I was expecting like maybe a Soul Calibur or Tekken fighter at least.
I'll be honest, the thing that surprised me the most is that all of the DLC has really just been an excuse to get like third-party characters into the game. Like I really thought we would see more like Nintendo characters that maybe didn't make the initial cut. All we really ever get when it comes to like, we didn't even get like a new Pokemon, like a Score Bunny or something, you know? But like all we've ever gotten as like Nintendo DLC is like Fire Emblem characters, So that's kind of weird.
So before we move on from Smash, because I'm sure we could talk about this forever, I want to talk about the new music that was added, because while I don't have a huge affinity for Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy in general, the music in this pack is banging, man. Like there is some good music in here. Apparently some of them are new arrangements too, so I'm liking it.
I'm a little disappointed that the version of One Winged Angel, God, I cannot talk tonight. The One Winged Angel is the Advent Children version, as much as
there's 2 versions.
Oh, there are?
There's Advent Children and there's Final Fantasy VII, yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, there they are, right back to back. All right. I'm blind.
I will take the moment you were going to use to complain about that to mention something I noticed, which is that now when you select Battlefield or Final Destination, you can choose from any track in the entire 928 tracks. Like it used to be that there was just a selection of like Smash Bros specific music. I don't know when they updated that. It could have been like a year ago, but now all of a sudden I go into select music in like Final Destination and I can choose like the Pac-Man theme. I can choose Fire Emblem music. Like that's kind of cool. I like that. I kind of wish that was a feature on every track, to be honest, because like I've always wanted to do like like the pirate level with like music that's not Wind Waker or something. But
you can kind of goose it by turning off all tracks except for a few, but it's it'd be easier
I wish
to be
at
able
the
to
very
do it, like,
least, and I don't know, maybe it is like this in this Smash, but I know in previous Smash games, even if you're playing on a Zelda level, like the Wind Waker level, you have this selection of Zelda music to choose from but your favorite track might be on the Twilight Princess level, and you can only select that. Like, I don't know if it's like that in this one, because I haven't done too much playing with the music because there's so much music, it's overwhelming. But
That's all I do. In this one, it's based on the game, on the series. So
Yeah,
like other than like the generic Nintendo ones, like Gyromite or whatever that one is, Wrecking Crew, like those kind of ones, Ice Climber, those just have like all of the Nintendo music plus like some of the DLC stuff, like again Megalovania, Floral Fury, that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, the thing that surprised me was now in Battlefield and Final Destination, you can literally choose any track, which is fun. Like, I like that a lot.
I think that they need to make little improvements like that, quite honestly, especially if this is indeed going to be Smash Ultimate, and like as they say, there's not going to be one for a while type of thing. I just want them to make it that way. Like, I think Justin has been harping on this since basically the game came out, but like, why are you stuck to the same stupid level once you get in a group? Like, why can't you like switch out after every match? Like, I hate that. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah, like I really miss those online games where we'd play, where every time like you put it on a rotation, and when it's my turn, I get to choose the items and the stage and the rules set, and then it's Eugene's turn, so he can set it up the way he wants it, and you don't have to back out and go back in. You just it would be nice if they brought that back.
That would be ideal, right? Because of how differently, like, I'm sure all three of us play the game, right? Like, I hate items. I love Final Destination.
Yeah.
You know? So like, I always play that way. But
and I think the way that they had it even in the Smash 4 was so smart, because you can set it like the loser gets to choose like the new setup or whatever, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
I think I remember that.
So like if you get whooped because Lucas is on Final Destination with Fox no items.
Oh yeah, as soon as you throw in like Minecraft level with Steve, I'm screwed. Because
exactly.
Like,
then when I take last place.
Of course, then I jump in and I turn off all items except for Pokeballs, Master Balls, assist trophies, and containers set to very high, so that every 5 seconds there's a new thing popping out of somewhere beating your ass off. So
can we go back for a second and just talk about what Eugene said? I know we've talked about this a few times, but that thing you were saying about if this truly is like the last Smash for a very long time or whatever.
Yes, I actually had something to say about that.
Yeah, like I don't think any of us think that this is going to be it, right? Because these things make money, right? Like it's got to be a thing. But how do you like compare with it? Again, we've talked about this. It has to be like a different type of game. Like, how do you compare?
And this is what I was thinking, actually, especially as Nintendo gets better and better at developing more modern games. With Mortal Kombat, of course, they had Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and then they pulled out all the stops, put everything together, and gave us Mortal Kombat Trilogy. And then for the next game, they scaled back the characters, they scaled back the stages, they brought everything kind of back to basics, but the game was now in 3D. And so the next like 3 or 4 games after that were all in 3D and a completely different type of thing. So I'm wondering if like maybe Smash for whatever, the follow-up to Switch is going to be, I wonder if that's going to be like a 3D like Power Stone style fighting game.
Yeah, I would almost take like in kind of a different vein, I would almost take like a fighter with maybe 20 or 30 characters in it. But like it's still Smash. It still plays like Smash and everything. Sure, it looks a little bit better, but it's still that kind of like 2.5D, get people off the stage kind of thing. But maybe like all of the moves are different. All of the plays, like everyone is just entirely different characters.
I like that.
So like neutral B isn't a fireball for Mario anymore. It's like a jump attack or something like that, where like every character is just a new character in like an old skin. Like
just a reset, right? You can call it Smash Reset. Smash.
Well, yeah, because then you've still got like
that's clever actually.
Because then you've still got the old game for everybody that wants to go play the old game. Like, there's no way they're gonna get Sephiroth back. And, it's like, how are you gonna get?
How these contracts were negotiated. Like, I know they talked about like getting Snake back and getting Cloud back, and some of these required some negotiations. I wonder if Nintendo's like, all right, look, if you're letting us use the character now, then you got to let us use him, for the next 10, 20 years or whatever.
Yeah,
because otherwise people are going to get used to it.
I doubt it. Like I feel like so many of these like and like half the roster in this game is like DLC. Like I was looking at how many characters were from like Smash and Melee and Brawl and stuff because you know they're all lined up in the character select screen from like when they join Smash, and it's like half the roster is like this game. It's like so many characters are new that like I and so many of them are from third-party games. Like I just can't see them doing that. And again, how many times can you play Smash with like the same, like how many times can you have Mario with the same moveset before you're like, you know, okay, let's do something different. Let's make something, you know, new. So.
Yeah, I like both of your guys' ideas. So my idea wasn't going to be anywhere near that. But yeah, no, like I either reset it like back to basics or whatever type of thing. Everybody's got new movesets, or Justin's idea in 3D. But my idea was going to be kind of in the middle of that, almost making it a little bit more of a complicated game, kind of like a Street Fighter, where you have like your quarter circle Bs to like do a move, or you know, like that type of
maybe
that type of game. But I don't know how many people would go for that. But
see, that's the
well,
problem.
you know, the Mortal Kombat
sure,
the Mortal Kombat comparison got me thinking. You know, maybe the next one's going to be M-rated, and they're going to be fatalities.
Yeah. Well, when
you
said
Mario
when
shoots a fireball and Link actually burns to death, and you see his smoldering corpse fall down.
When you said Mortal Kombat 4, I just thought of Pikachu having like a trident or something, because all of the characters in that game had items. But anyways, okay, so that's enough Smash, I think. What else has everybody been playing besides Smash? Me, it's been Pokemon. I'm gonna be real with you guys. It's been Smash and Pokemon. Like that's it. Shinies, man, the shinies they are happening lately.
I caught a shiny Eevee today, so that was a thing. I'm trying to get a shiny Spiel, but he is not cooperating. So far, all I've gotten today is an Eevee. Yesterday, I got a Snorunt and a Trico, and the Trico is already in Pokemon Sword now. So
nice. I got well, I should say Heather got. She was using my phone, and she did a Jesse and James balloon, and I got back to back a shiny Shadow Scyther. So I was real excited about that one. And then I think the other one was a shiny Shadow Coffee, but let me confirm that real quick.
Dang, I gotta start doing these Team Rocket balloons. I never do them because they're such a pain in the butt.
It was a shiny Shadow Ammonite, and I was pretty excited about both of those.
Nice. Yeah.
So
this game is just a funnel for shiny Pokemon, right? You keep it on, like when you're doing a podcast, you keep it on right next to your microphone, and you just tap to see if it's a shiny, and it's not. Then you look up at your host and you continue talking like you never looked away. And then you look at the next one and you tap, and you just keep doing that all day while you're doing other stuff. Like
yeah. I think you misspoke when you said podcast and meant to say work, but alas, we move on. Pokemon Go is fun, guys. Like I feel like I've dropped more money this year in Pokemon Go than any other year combined. And that's saying something in a pandemic year. You know, I think Niantic did something right. So keep doing it, Niantic. Keep doing it in 2021. Go ahead.
There was a quote from them in like a news article the other day that I saw that just kind of came across my thing, where they said that, like, unlike a lot of other games, COVID has been existential, was their word, to the Pokemon Go experience, right? This could have been a game that died out this year. Like, by all accounts, a less creative team, this would have been it, you know? Like, what could you do? You can't go outside, you can't go do raids and stuff. But you know, for better or for worse, not only were they able to turn it into something that you can play here at your house, they've also turned it into something you can drop oodles of money on if you want to do, like, you know, if like I invite you to a raid, but you're not nearby, you can do a raid pass, you can pay for incense and get it's like, there's so many ways to pay to get all of these like new features that they've added to make it accessible.
Right.
You know,
and if you're like me and you don't want to pay, they were good about, you know, here's, you know, a bunch of free incenses. You know, just
There's
you know,
actually,
you log in today and we'll give
every
you some
day,
free stuff. Here's some free Pokeballs, you know, just
actually
go outside your house and catch something.
here is an Infendo Radio giveaway for you guys. Let me pull this thing up while we're talking. Sarah B
the
posted
code.
Sarah B posted a code. If you haven't gotten it yet, let me see if I can find it. I'm in Steve's channel here. If you go into the shop and you enter this code into the little bar at the bottom, you'll get 30 Ultra Balls, 10 Max Revives, and
a
one
lucky
Lucky
egg.
Egg. It is the letters TRFJVY ZVVV8R4.
Merry Christmas.
Go type that in and get some free stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, no, they have just done Niantic. I'm talking here, not Steve. Has done a great job of
Steve too. You know what? Steve too.
Steve too. Done a great job of just keeping the game alive, and again, like making it, because before there was, all of this stuff was there before. Like I could have raided before, and there was premium raid passes. I could have paid for incenses before. Yeah, I could have paid for all this stuff before, but now, because they've made it easier and incentivized it better, I can invite Lucas to a raid because that wasn't it wasn't a thing before. And if Lucas doesn't have any raid passes, oopsie poopsie, he can buy 3 more for $2.50. And boy, oh boy, have I paid a lot of $2.50 so I can remote raid and buy 3 raid passes. But no, guys, Pokemon Go is like, might be my game of the decade when it comes down to it, honestly. Like I'm serious. Like when I sit down and think about all the games that I've played in, the year 2010 through now, like Pokemon Go might be one of my favorites. Did you just get a shiny Spiel? Did you just get your boy?
About to get a shiny Skarmory.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah, guys.
I've been averaging like 2 shinies a day just by leaving the game
So
on
good.
in the background.
Eugene caught a shiny kitty.
I did. He's hungry. I threw. It's in the Safari Zone, and I threw some food at him. Yeah, Pokemon Go. Let's not talk about that anymore. We talk about that all the time. What else have we been playing? I do want to talk a little, if it's my time to talk, I guess. I want to talk
a group chat tonight. Do whatever. Holiday special.
I want to talk about one other game that I've been playing. I actually thought it was shorter than it was, because you guys asked me To the Moon. I'm talking here. You guys asked me.
You're playing that.
You asked me how long it would take me to beat this game, To the Moon. Well, it's taken me about 5 hours. I finally ended up beating it, so it's not quite a sitting. I guess if you're Lucas, maybe that's a sitting, but
That's a sitting.
but I finally finished it. It is mucho good, guys. I love it. It is so creative. If you don't know what it is, I talked about it a little bit last week, but it's basically a 16-bit style game in the. It looks kind of like the overworld of what, like, your Zelda or your like Final Fantasy would look like, right? Top down, your isometric view, but it's all story, and it's a good story. Oh my god, I liked it. I cried, I laughed. It had it all, guys. Since it is all story, I'm not going to talk too much about it, except for I'll kind of give you like the general plot of it. So there is this group that has created this technology where you can insert artificial memories, which they call wish fulfillment. And you can only provide this service, I guess the government has deemed, or somebody has deemed, you can only provide this service upon somebody's like deathbed, right? Because like it's a weird thing to do.
How Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
Like it just sounds like one of his sci-fi novels.
Well, it goes places like that. So, yeah, you talk. I really want to talk about the plot, but I can't because it'll spoil it for somebody. But go play the game. It's a 4-hour game. I think it was like $5 or something like that. Like it was like real cheap. So you'll get your money's worth. I loved it. So that's To the Moon. If you're interested, go purchase it. That's all I got. Anybody else have any games that they've been playing?
Well, I just last night got sucked back into Animal Crossing because, of course, Toy Day is coming, so
Mm-hmm.
I've got to do some stuff for that. I was really hoping to uproot a festive tree and plant it next to my house, not realizing that you can't just take a festive tree from one area and plant it as a festive tree. It just plants as a regular tree. So I'm like, well, screw that. I guess I won't have a Christmas tree next to my house. But yeah, so I've been playing a little bit of that. Mostly though, I've been playing Yoshi's Island on the Super NES
Oh,
online because oddly enough, I spent $40 on Yoshi's Crafted World, and instead of playing that, I'm playing Yoshi's Island for free. The 25-year-old game or however old it is.
It's a good game.
It is a good game, and it's great on the Super. The Super
I
NES.
was gonna say it's
online.
probably the best version to play aside from the Super Nintendo because like every other version has had its issues,
Yeah, I mean it's a perfect emulation of it. It looks and sounds great. Plus you get the lovely little rewind features. So if you're like me and don't feel like banging your head against the same jump or there, I love Yoshi's Island. It's one of the best platformers ever. But there are parts of it where you'll spend 15 minutes doing something in a level and then die before you reach that next partway ring and have to go back and do that 15 minutes worth of stuff again only to die again. And
I think you're describing a platformer.
I mean, well, yeah, but like something like Donkey Kong.
Back before all the snowflakes got their hands on our platformers and made them all easy and wimpy.
Well, and the thing, I love the challenge of Yoshi's Island. There are not very many platformers like it. The difference between Yoshi's Island and something like Donkey Kong Country, which is also balls hard, is that Donkey Kong Country is fast paced. Like it'll take you, maybe like 2-3 minutes to get through a level. If you die over and over and over again, chances are you're only replaying about 30 seconds to a minute worth of the level. Whereas Yoshi's Island is very exploration based.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you spend 15 minutes exploring a level and then die, it's like, screw this. I don't want to go through and find every single red coin again and get all my little star guys, make sure I keep them again and all that. So it's nice being able to use the rewind feature just for that. But I mean, it's one of the best platformers ever made. So whether you play it challenging or easy, do it.
Yoshi's Island triggers something in me. All the Yoshi games do because of the way they do the collecting, where it's like you have to finish the level with full health and you have to finish the level with 30 stars and you have to come all 5 of the coins or whatever. It's
I
even
forget
like
about all
Woolly
that
World
stuff.
and Crafted World, which were criticized for being too easy, still have that extra element of challenge.
That was why I stopped playing them because I was both bored and irritated at the same time when I played Woolly World.
I get that.
I love Yoshi's Island. I love Yoshi's Story. I don't really like the other Yoshi games that much, but all of them, I think the right word would be like trigger me in some way when I'm playing. It's like I get through, and the entire time I'm playing, if I'm playing to try to like unlock all the bonuses and stuff, and I happen to get hit and I happen to lose a star and I can't recover the star, it's like, okay, now I gotta go all the way. I gotta finish the level, then I gotta do the level again.
And the first one was the worst one about it because like Woolly World and Crafted World, if you collect the item and finish the level, then you don't have to collect the item again. Whereas on the Super Nintendo one, every time you go into a level, you have to get all 5 flowers and all 20 red coins. And
You
keep
were
all
making me
30
want to
of
go
your
play this
stars.
game again, but thank you for this last bit.
Well, like I said, you've got your nifty little rewind.
You get to play as like 8 different colored Yoshis, and that was actually okay. So like
I love the
small-
black Yoshi. He was my favorite.
Small game design thing that shouldn't matter, but is totally a thing for me. having each level be like a different colored Yoshi was so cool.
Yeah,
Like
it was cool.
it's so not like a gameplay mechanic, but it's still just like one of those things. It's like this is a detail, you know, like this feels good. I'm not getting bored because I'm not watching the same green Yoshi hop across every level, right? It's like every level is a little different. Like
That reminds me, I need to scan my amiibo into Yoshi's Crafted World
to get all the
because
costumes and stuff.
yeah, because that was one of my favorite things about Woolly World was scanning every amiibo and seeing what it looks like. And certain like Japanese amiibo would have different costumes
I
than
didn't know
the
that.
US version, and so I'm gonna have to pull those out. Maybe I'll go find my amiibo tonight and do that.
Sure. Well, what else have you been playing besides Yoshi?
That's pretty much it. I mean, I've dabbled in this, that, and the other. Played a few rounds of Among Us.
It's
Played
good. It's a
a
good
couple
game.
stages of Mario Maker. Played a few minutes of Skyrim, but for the most part, it's been Yoshi's Island here and there.
I got two gift cards for my birthday that I am going to put towards Skyrim, I told myself. So I think I'm going to download that
Nice.
tonight.
And it'll probably be on sale sometime in the next week or
I
two.
might want to
So
wait then,
definitely.
actually.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
If you
like I
have
mean,
any
it's definitely.
questions,
I paid $60
love
for it, and I
answering
gotten
them.
$60 worth out of it. But if you're on the fence about it, it's on sale often enough.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
actually started up two new Skyrim accounts actually like a week and a half ago before Sephiroth dropped, and I completely dropped Skyrim like a hot thing of bricks. But yeah,
Now you're going to go back to Skyrim and try and role play
So-
Sephiroth.
so here's
That's where I thought that was going.
So here's the weird thing. Here's the weird thing about Skyrim for me, right? Like I have my like main account that I started sometime last year because I hadn't really put much time into the Switch version. And I made it up to like level 22, 23. Not that high, but I did most of the things, right? Because I just kind of like powered through, and the dungeons all kind of scale with you. So there's really nothing that's like out of your reach, right? It's just kind of
Sure.
like trial and error, and how are you going to do it with your skill set and everything. I started this other account like a week ago, and I'm at like level 23. Like I'm at like the same level as the account that I put like a year's worth of time into, and I have no idea how, but that's where I am.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's a
Well,
bizarre
That's kind of
game.
like me with Breath of the Wild. You know, I spent like a
On the
year
Wii U.
or two or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
playing Breath of the Wild and getting everything, and then I got it on the Switch, started a new save, and I had almost everything within a couple of months.
Yeah, this we talk about this all the time. The Switch just makes things better, man. Like I'll play a game again on the Switch just because it is on the Switch. You know?
Except
And
that
Skyrim is a game made for Switch.
Except that Skyrim on the PC has some really cool
Mods.
mods that add
Yeah.
a lot of stuff to the game. Like really cool stuff.
I am gonna miss out on my Homer Simpson and my Barney mods, but you know what are you gonna do? Well, I think that's about all the games that we've been playing. I didn't want to miss anybody. Lucas, did you have any final ones? Anything?
I didn't really go other than just kind of interrupting you guys, but it's kind of because I didn't really play anything. So
But yeah, we had the group Sephiroth chat.
Smash,
So
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, then we do have a question from a Colt. I don't know who wants to read it, but it is a question that brings me joy.
I don't usually read questions, and since I actually checked the question block first tonight, I'll read Colt's question. What do you hope Santa brings you this year?
Well, Colt, I hope that Santa brings. This is gonna sound dark and bleak, but I hope he brings the vaccine to everybody so we can start to get.
Including the people who refuse to take it.
Oh boy, don't get me. I'm not gonna get started about something I saw in a Facebook group. So, Justin, why don't you answer this question?
So I was in a strange position of I had no idea what I wanted for Christmas, and my mother-in-law is one of those wonderful people who says, "Give me your list so I know what to buy you." Whereas my own family are like, "Here is the stuff we want you to want to have." So, like, I've almost never gotten video games or movies from my family, even though that's always exactly what I ask for. So I'm like, I have no idea what I want. I don't have time to play the games that I have, so I don't really want more games, even though I'm probably gonna finally splurge on Pokemon Sword/Shield, especially since my kids have a Switch now, and we can trade with each other. So I just kind of scanned through my Amazon wish list and came across the 8-bit dough. It is like an arcade joystick thing. It kind of looks like
yeah,
the
I know
NES
what you're talking about.
Advantage, but it's got like all 8 buttons. So
Is
I'm
it
like,
the one that's Bluetooth or whatever?
yeah,
I want that one bad.
yeah, like and 8-bit dough makes good, reliable stuff. So I'm like, if I'm going to have a wireless joystick, it's going to be either 8-bit dough or Hori, and the Hori one's wired. So I put that on my wish list, and I said, here's this, and a couple of other things you can get for me. So I'm almost positive I'm going to get it, and I'm kind of excited to use it because I've got Mortal Kombat, I've got Street Fighter, I've got Ultra Street Fighter 2, I've got the Street Fighter collection. I'm curious how Smash Brothers will play on an arcade stick. I've got Donkey Kong, like I've got all these games that are like perfect for an arcade stick. I've never had an arcade stick before in my life, except for I bought an NES Advantage a few years ago and have not had a chance to use it other than like a short playthrough of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game.
But could you call that an arcade stick though? Like I guess it is technically.
I mean, in as much as it perfectly duplicated an arcade stick from the mid '80s.
Yeah, but like it only had like the 4-button controls technically as the stick. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah. And I had like one for, I think, my like a wireless, might have been infrared at best. It was RF wireless joystick for my Xbox that I used, I don't know, maybe a dozen times total. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I guess I'm hoping I either get that joystick or something surprising that I didn't know I wanted.
Like some cheesecake. Lucas, what would you like Santa to bring you this year?
I just want Santa to bring me more time to spend with friends like Colt.
Well done.
And that's how I won the question block.
How about more time to play video games and less time working?
Bro, all I've got is time to play video games.
That's funny. Well, excellent. Well, folks, we made it to the end. We made it to the end of the year because
Eugene, did you answer?
He answered first.
I was the first answer.
He wants a cure to COVID.
Oh,
and
that's
I
right,
just
that's
happen
right.
to have it right here. It's human blood.
Ooh. Ugh. Well, Vampira, we are going to end the show here. It's been a year, so hope that
This is it. This is 2020. I hope there's some dramatic music playing in the background. Some like da 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 da. This is it. This is all you're getting. We're gone.
We'll be back in spirit next week. We have a holiday music special planned for y'all. It might be weird that it's dropping a week after Christmas, but you know what? That's what we're doing.
It's a New Year's holiday special. It's more inclusive that way.
Yeah, I like it all the same. So we're gonna get out of here. Although that vaccine is out there, you still gotta wear a mask, you assholes. So go do it.
With love from the Infendo crew.
Yeah. I went shopping, unfortunately, this last week, and it was a sight to behold.
Oh, God. I have to go to Walmart tomorrow. Wish me luck.
Oh, that's...
The
that sounds
puppy's
like
out of food, and we need a couple things for dinner. So, like, this is like absolutely have to go sort of thing.
Ooh, that sounds like poor planning, but God
I was
be
there
with
last
you.
weekend. It was bad enough then.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here. So be safe. number 1. Have a happy holidays, number 2. Merry Christmas if you're Christian, number 3. What's number 4?
Merry Christmas if
Wear
you're
a
not
mask.
Christian, but you celebrate Christmas, because there's a lot of people like that out there.
Yeah, number 5. There you go. Number 6, wear a mask. Number 7, wear a mask. Number 8, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
See you real soon.
Oh, I was wondering what I was listening to, but I thought you like got your Mario block out again or something. Well, everybody, it's been real. We actually had a lot of live viewers. At one point, we had 10 people watching us simultaneously. So, don't know what that was about. Yeah, but thanks for watching us. We appreciate y'all. We'll catch you guys next year. Bye bye. And we'll have Steve. We promise. We're dragging him with us.
Maybe we'll see.